Ever dream this man? Every night throughout the world, hundreds of people dream about this face. In January 2006, in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws the face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. In more than one occasion, that man has given her advice on her private life. The woman swears she has never met the man in her life. That portrait lies forgotten on the psychiatrist's desk for a few days until one day another patient recognizes that face and says that the man has often visited him in his dreams. He also claims he has never seen that man in his waking life. The psychiatrist decides to send the portrait to some of his colleagues that have patients with recurrent dreams. Within a few months, 4 patients recognize the man as a frequent presence in their own dreams. All the patients refer to him as this man. From January 2006 until today, at least 8,000 people have claimed they have seen this man in their dreams, in many cities all over the world. Los Angeles, Berlin, Sao Paulo, Tehran, Beijing, Rome, Barcelona, Stockholm, Paris, New Delhi, Moscow, etc. At the moment, there is no ascertained relation or common trait among the people that have dreamed of seeing this man. Moreover, no living man has ever been recognized as resembling the man of the portrait by the people who have seen this man in their dreams. Several theories have been developed to explain the mysteriously recurring presence of this man in the dreams of different people who are not related in any way. The following theories are the ones that elicit the greatest interest among the dreamers themselves. Archetype theory. According to Jung's psychoanalytic theory, this man is an archetypal image belonging to the collective unconscious that can surface in times of hardship, emotional development, dramatic changes in our lives, stressful circumstances, etc., in particularly sensitive subjects. Religious theory. According to this theory, this man is the image of the Creator, that is to say, one of the forms in which God manifests himself today. This is the reason why his indications and the words he utters during the dreams should be decidedly followed by the dreamers. Dream surfer theory. It is the most interesting theory, and the one that has the greatest implications, but it has also the lowest scientific credibility. According to this theory, this man is a real person who can enter people's dreams by means of specific psychological skills. Some believe that in real life, this man looks like the man in the dreams. Others think that the man in the dreams looks completely different from his real-life counterpart. Some people seem to believe that behind this man there is a mental conditioning plan developed by a major corporation. Dream imitation theory. This is a scientific psychosociological theory which claims that this phenomenon has arisen casually and has progressively developed by imitation. Basically, when people are exposed to this phenomenon, they become so deeply impressed that they start seeing this man in their dreams. Daytime recognition theory. This theory states that the apparitions of this man are purely casual. Normally, we do not remember precisely the faces we see in our dreams. The image of this man would thus be an instrument which, in the subject's waking life, facilitates recognition of an undefined onirical image. These are some of the dreams we collected at the beginning of the research. I have had this recurrent dream for some years now. A tall, dark man shows me a picture and asks me if I can recognize my father in it. The man in the picture is this man I have never seen before. He looks nothing like my dad. Nevertheless, I inexplicably answer that I do recognize my father. At this point, I usually wake up feeling very peaceful. Other times, the dream continues. I am standing before my father's grave. I place some flowers on the ground and I realize the photograph on the tombstone is missing. I fell in love with him from the very first time I saw him in my dream. Even though if I think about it, I must admit he's really ugly. And yet each and every time, he sweeps me off my feet with his romantic gestures and sweet words. He buys me flowers, jewelry, he takes me out to dinner or to the beach to watch the sunset. I have always had this dream of flying in the sky over my city and observing my friends from up there. Since I moved to another house, I started meeting this man while flying. Not every single time that I have this dream about flying, but often enough. He flies too, but he never speaks. The first time I had a dream about this man, I was having a hard time at work. I had a dream about getting lost in a huge and deserted shopping mall. Suddenly, this man appeared, and I started running away from him. He chased after me for what seemed like an hour, until I found myself against a wall in the kids' area in a supermarket. At this point, he smiled at me, and he showed me the way out towards the cash desks, and I woke up. Ever since that night, this man has appeared in all of my dreams, and he always gives me directions to get out of the dream and wake up. I have never had homosexual relationships or even fantasies, but I dream about having sexing with this man all the time. I must admit, he has a lot of imagination, and he pleases me. Sometimes when I wake up, I discover I have had a nocturnal emission. I saw this man in my dream, dressed as Santa Claus. When he showed up, I felt so happy, just like when I was a little girl. Then he smiled at me, and his head became a balloon, floating in the air above me. But no matter how hard I tried to catch it, I just couldn't reach it. I dreamt of this man when I was in the 10th grade. He hasn't been in any recurring dreams, just one very memorable and terrifying dream. In my dream, I was stuck in a room sitting on a stool. A few feet away from me, there was a television set. I was visited by two men I had never seen before, not this man, and they both attacked me. I woke up covered in sweat and tears, and I was screaming. I somehow fell asleep, then I found myself back in the room. I started screaming and crying. Then this man showed up on the screen. I begged him to not harm me. He didn't change his blank expression or speak. He slit my throat, and I woke up. I suppose he let me out of the nightmare, but I couldn't stop thinking about him for weeks. I still have some of the sketches I drew of him. I know it's kind of weird. I dreamt this man was in my mirror watching me, saying nothing, and he was wearing glasses. He never moved the entire time I saw him. He was like a statue, so still. I dreamt this man was Brazilian and very handsome. He was a school teacher type with 6 fingers on his right hand. He said if the US had a nuclear disaster, go north. I have seen this man in 3 completely different dreams. He was slightly different from the picture, but I recognized him immediately. He appeared suddenly and disappeared in the same manner. His message in all 3 of my dreams was, "It's all over." That was repeated 3 times in each dreams. The differences in the picture and the man in my dreams are, his hair was a little longer in the top, his eyebrows were not as bushy. Other than that, he is identical. I had no fear of him, but many questions. These are some of the original drawings made by the people who have seen this man in their dreams. The identikit that is currently used is based on these portraits. The man is shown in various positions in the pictures.